Got another tobacco review tonight. Today, the tobacco review is Peter Stokkebye Luxury Navy Flake. I put this in a jar almost 2 years ago now, and I really think I let it sit for about a year, and then started smoking it. It was only a couple ounces. I'm smoking in a Radici, kind of a little big, well, it's actually a big pipe for me. It's a sitter pipe. It actually does sit here on this, and I don't really know what the shape would be, but it's big, got a deep bowl, wide bowl. Probably not the best Virginia pipe, but it does okay. I don't mind it. It's a pretty good pipe. I like it. Looks cool. And this is actually a twin bore. I think it might be oil cured, but I'm not sure. But it is one of their twin bore pipes, which is kind of cool. I've wanted a twin bore Radici for a while. So, in terms of the smell of the Peter Stokkebye Luxury Navy Flake, which is a Virginia perique, and I'll try to copy and paste the description from tobacco reviews in the description on this video. There's not really much left. It's about a half a bowl left, but very barnyardy, grassy, tangy, a lot of citrus. It almost smells like there would be a little bit of like a little sour. It almost smells a little sour, like there's almost a little bit of Izmir in it, but there isn't. You know, it's kind of a, and I'm not saying it's like an overpoweringly sour, just kind of slightly sour, but also sweet. The smoke, I would say, is very close to what the smell is. So the smoke, you know, some tobaccos, you smell them in the tin and you go, oh, okay. And then you smoke them and it's like, that smoke does not match what I smelled, right, beforehand. Also, I know I'm doing another Virginia perique or another Virginia blend. It's just basically what I smoke the most. But I do have some other ones, some English blends and things like that, or Balkan blends that I've been smoking a little bit, that I just want to smoke a little more before I actually do a review. You know, I kind of like to have a pretty decent handle on something. I like to smoke quite a bit of it before I give a review. For the guy out there interested, I have that 10 to midnight. I've been smoking it. I bought that 1 ounce little block, so I smoked about half of it so far, and so there'll be a review coming pretty soon on 10 to midnight. I also got a tin of Highland Targ, Rattray's Highland Targ, I'm gonna probably do a review on, and Piccadilly. So those will be coming in the next few weeks or whatever. So like I said, it's tangy, sweet. I would say the lighter Virginias definitely take over. I think there are some red, there's some red Virginias and stuff like that, but there's definitely some lighter Virginias in there, and I get mostly that tangy, citrusy, grassy, sweet that you would generally associate with lemon or lighter colored Virginias. There is some darker Virginias in there which add a little bit of depth, a little bit kind of rounds it out a little bit, takes a little bit of the sharpness away, which I like. I generally don't like these types of Virginia periques where the citrusy, lemony, grassy takes over. I kind of like the more deeper, darker flavors. The darker, fruitier, naturally fruitier, or like, bready character. This is got a little bit of that, a little toasty, a little bready, but to me, it's those bright Virginias. They really take over. So, not generally a Virginia. I mean, I don't mind those kinds of Virginia periques, but it's not my preference, I would say. It kind of just depends, I guess. But and the perique is there. It's definitely I would say more noticeable in the nose feel, right? Like on the Retro Hill, you get that kind of spicy, peppery note. Not like a scratchy thing, but more like a just sort of a nose tingle. Another thing I think I associate with bright Virginias usually is like a steaminess, which isn't necessarily pleasant. Just kind of like a hot steaminess. I don't know if it's fair for me to associate that with lighter Virginias, but to me, I get that sort of steaminess more in Virginia or Virginia Creek blends that have a good amount of those lighter Virginias in them. So, not a bad tobacco if you're a real big fan of the bright Virginias, lighter colored Virginias, that lemony, citrusy, sweet quality, that grassy quality. I think it's definitely a good blend, especially being a bulk blend. It's pretty available, I believe. I think between this and Luxury Bullseye Flake, and I think those are the only two that I would be able to speak on. I think I've smoked a couple of the other Stokkebye bulky blends, but I think I smoked the most of Luxury Navy and Luxury Bullseye. I think I prefer the Bullseye Flake. But the issue with that is, if I'm going to smoke a coin cut Virginia perique type tobacco, I'm looking at a Scudo, I'm looking at deluxe Navy rolls, things like that. I don't know that I'd be looking at Luxury Bullseye Flake. If you can't get any of those other ones, then maybe I would be looking at Luxury Bullseye Flake. Or Luxury Bullseye, whatever. I don't know, Flake or whatever it's called. I think as bulk blends go, I probably won't buy any more of the Luxury Navy Flake. I mean, maybe down the road I will, but there's other bulk tobaccos out there that I would like to try and see. I wouldn't mind finding something that I would like to buy a couple pounds of and just throw away, put away for years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever the case is. I don't think Luxury Navy Flake is it for me. I think I would like to start with something that's a little bit deeper in flavor, a little bit darker in flavor. I mean, I know that the Virginias in this they'll mellow out and deepen and darken a little bit, but I think I would like to start with something that's just a little bit darker. You do get a little of that kind of mushroomy, earthy flavor, a little bit from the perique. Like I said, it's peppery on the nose, but I don't get a whole lot of dark fruit flavor or notes. I get more of an earthy, mushroomy type flavor from the perique, which is good, I think, because it kind of I feel like it kind of subdues those bright Virginias, which to me seem to be very prominent. So all in all, not a bad tobacco. I mean, I think for what it is, it's actually a great blend. I just think that it's not generally, components or things that I gravitate towards. Um, like for instance, the bright Virginias. I mean, like look at deluxe navy rolls. There's more darker Virginias, and that's a little bit deeper flavor, a little bit maybe a little bit softer flavor. You get more of the soft notes. You don't get that sort of, jump out and grab you sort of like you get with like this with the bright Virginias. But I kind of lean towards that a little bit more. Something like a deluxe navy rolls, even a Scudo one at times. I gotta be careful with a Scudo. I don't like young Escudo. It's a little bit darker when it's young than this here, in my opinion. But even I like it to sit at least 3 years, if not 5 years, or obviously more, just to sort of deepen in flavor, richen up a little bit, and so I think that this is just gonna starts a little bit too light for me. The luxury Navy Flake is a little bit too light when it's young for me. I think a Scudo is about the lightest I like to get on, in terms of young Virginia Perique tobacco. So I think for me, in my rating system, which goes, don't like it, throw it away, not for me, I like it and I love it. I think it's probably in the not for me category, but not for me. I don't feel like that does it a whole lot of justice. I think it isn't really for me, but I do like it. I just don't like it for me, if that makes sense. I like it. I like it in that I do believe that it's good quality tobacco. I just think that, like I said, it's just not really for me. It's not where I like it to be. I think that if I gave it 20 years, 30 years, it could be somewhere where it would be I like it or I love it. But there's like I said, there's other tobaccos out there that I like or love right off the bat or with only a couple years of age. So that's kind of where it's at for me. If you don't like the deeper, darker Virginias that maybe make you work a little bit or make you kind of pay attention a little bit more, maybe this would be more for you. And if you're not a big fan of like the bright, super bright, lemony, grassy, sort of tangy, sour Virginias that you would get in something like a luxury Navy Flake, take a look at something like Deluxe Navy Rolls by Peterson. It's a little bit more expensive. It's probably actually quite a bit more expensive, but I think it's not bad. Or Luxury Bullseye Flake. The thing with Luxury Bullseye Flake too is it's got that little Cavendish center, so it kind of, when you're smoking it, it really puts off a little bit more volume and smoke, which a lot of people like. That doesn't really, the volume of smoke doesn't really affect my opinion on it. I really care more about like the notes, the flavors, the feelings I get off of the tobacco when I'm smoking it, not how much smoke is coming. And another thing that kind of puts me off about the luxury Navy Flake is personally, it's a little steamy for me. So it's not tongue bitey, just a little steamy. There's parts there where it's just not deep enough, not rich enough for me. But other than that, yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's a decent, I think it's a decent tobacco. I just think it's not for me. Like I said, if you like it, let me know in the comments down below. If you're like me and are not really a big fan because it's a little too light or bright for you, put in the comments down below what you do like. Right? What is the lightest tobacco that you like to go in terms of Virginia periques? Or if you're like me and you like a little bit darker Virginia periques, let me know in the comments down below what blends you're looking for. Also, if there's a tobacco out there that you want me to review, put it in the comments below. Hopefully it's something that I can actually get my hands on. Tobacco is there's a little bit of a shortage of it, it seems like right now. I was on Smoking Pipes last couple of days, and it seemed like there was a lot more stuff that was out of stock than I'm used to. So, and if it's something that I can't get my hands on, still you can leave it in the comments down below. Maybe I can find some somewhere, or maybe I already have some. But yeah, leave in the comments. I'm happy to do reviews for you guys on what tobaccos you want me to review. Maybe it's something you're curious about. You want to hear my opinion on it. If I can get my hands on it or I have some, I'm happy to do it. So comments are a good way to engage. And I try to always engage back if I can. If there's a comment that warrants a response, I'll generally try to make a response. If it's just a statement or sort of a closed end comment, then I might not respond. But if it's a question or conversational, I'll try to respond to it. Other than that, I hope everyone is safe, enjoyed Thanksgiving, and is going to have a good weekend. Adios.